Hello everyone and welcome to Maui 2. This is a distribution release that happened earlier this month. It's the second version of Maui. Maui used to be Netrunner. So if we see, we got Maui 2, Blue Tang has been released. Let's see. So Maui used to be Netrunner. So if we go over to the Netrunner site, you'll notice that there's only one Netrunner core now. Netrunner Desktop, Netrunner Core. There used to be Netrunner Rolling and Netrunner Ubuntu. So the Rolling distro was based off of Manjaro, and it would update in a rolling fashion. Then they had the Ubuntu stable version, and then they had the, I want to say Debian version, but the standard Netrunner version. So about 3 months ago, I want to say, 3, maybe 4, Netrunner kind of split off or created a new version, which was Maui. So Maui became the normal releases of Netrunner. A lot of people who were using Netrunner kind of complained about the name, because, you go from Netrunner to Maui. But Maui 2 is a great distribution. I used it for a while as my primary, but I had to change to a different distribution because there were some things that I just couldn't get to work and didn't feel like trying to go the roundabout way to get it to work. So Maui 2, it is Plasma 5.8.2. So it is, well, let me go ahead and pull up K-Info. Alright, so K-Info Center. It's Plasma version 5.8.2, KDE apps 16.08, Frameworks version 5.27, Qt version 5.7, Linux kernel 4.4, and I want to say the most recent kernel is 4.9, so they're back a few versions. They're kernel version 4.4. Plasma version 5.8.2. There's 5.8.3 has been released as of November 1st by the Neon team. So what Maui is basically Neon on top of an Ubuntu base. So as you can see, long-term support Linux kernel 4.4 with a Ubuntu 16.04 long-term system base. Long-term support base system, sorry. Has a Calamares installer. They brought back the driver manager that used to be with the original Netrunner. And then there's a few other tweaks. So when you originally open Maui, you will have your updates down here. Now what you'll notice when you update this, if you have ever used Mint, this is the Mint updater. I don't know if they change it up a little bit or if they're just straight using the Mint updater, but it's the Mint update. We can go to install updates. The first time you run this, you'll have very little updates that you have to install because it's such a fresh release. It's only been out for about a month, I want to say. So run our updates. If you click on here, you go to information, then you'll see right here, Mint update, launching Mint update. So what Maui 2 really is an Ubuntu base with Plasma Neon and Mint updater. So it's kind of a combination of 3 great things all into one awesome distro. So now that we have our updates done, so you have your desktop, you have your icons, and when you look at it, it looks pretty much like every single distribution you've ever used. You have Yakuake, who is automatically installed for you. You don't have to do any legwork on that. Then we're just going to go ahead and run through programs. Now, it normally comes with the Dash launcher, but I changed it to make it easier to see for this tutorial. It's got recent applications, recent documents, then you got games. It's just got a bunch of regular games that it installs with it. Then you got Steam. So by default, it installs Steam for you. You just have to run it, log in with your login information, and go. For graphics, it's got GIMP, which is my favorite graphics image editor. GwenView for viewing pictures, Inkscape, Krita, and Scanlight for your scanner. For internet, it has Firefox is your default web browser. It has IM contacts, and it has Pigeon Internet Messenger, and it has Skype. So they automatically install Skype and Thunderbird for you. Now, with Maui, I've been having issues with IM contacts where it doesn't want to actually install my messenger quite right. So you got two different messengers. We'll go over that here in just a little bit. Multimedia, Audacious, G Music Player, Handbrake, Kden Live, Pulse Audio Volume Control, VLC, and Vocal Screen. Those are all installed by default. For Office, you got LibreOffice, yet it's not 5.2. It's not the most recent version of LibreOffice. We will go see exactly what version it is. About LibreOffice, and we're using 5.1.4.2, so we're not using the new 5.2 version. So Office, it also has Ocular for viewing PDFs. You got your system settings. System, you got Dolphin, Info Center, KDE Partition Manager, which they replaced gparted with KDE Partition Manager in this distribution, or in this release. Console, KSysGuard, all your normal things. SUSE Studio Image Writer for writing images. Synaptic Package Manager, the Mint Update Manager, VirtualBox, Windows Wireless Drivers, and Yakuake. Utilities, you got Arc, K3B, Kate, Kcalc, Knotes, and Spectacle, and then your power off, session off, and all that fun stuff. So we'll go ahead and we'll go into system settings. So here in your system settings, they have minimized it a little bit. And normally this would be a whole lot bigger, but if you go into desktop appearances, they combined a bunch of different things from system settings into desktop appearances. So your look and feel, widget style, Windows decorations, cursor themes, colors, icons, all of that is now inside desktop appearances. We've got online accounts. Everything else is pretty much KDE centered. It looks the same as everything. They added back in the driver manager, so you can click on the driver manager and go, and it'll automatically detect what drivers you're using, what hardware you're using. The system I'm using right now has Intel graphics, so it really won't bring up anything for me if I try and run the driver manager. About system, which is KInfo. Other than that, your system settings are pretty much normal, what you would expect with a KDE distribution. So I think I mentioned before I had issues previously with my messenger. Whenever you would set up IM contacts, it just wouldn't work quite right. It would give you an error. I know that when I was setting up my instant messenger this time, it gave me the error, but then it set everything up how it was supposed to be. So they fixed everything that was in the IM contacts. Except it does give you an error message the first time you create an account. I don't know if that's just this system or if that's something permanent. Now, one other thing that I want to mention with Maui, which was the same thing that we had with Netrunner, was the Maui team is very good about getting back to you if you have issues. Starbuck and Lezek and the rest of the team, the developers and moderators of the forum, let's see, if we go to Maui forums. I know the Maui forums. If you go on here and you ask a question, if you have issues with the KDE desktop, you have issues when you're installing, you have issues with applications, you have ideas and feedback, general talk. I mean, you can go on the site, and if you post within, I would say like a day or two, you would have an answer by either Lazek or Starbuck or one of the others. For example, we'll just go to this one. Let's see. So you can see this person put that they had an error while installing Digicam. This was the error. Then Lazek came on and responded. So the question was asked November 10th at 0:28. On November 10th at 10:09 is when the answer by the moderator was already given. So they're very, very community involved, and they will get you answers if you have questions. If you come across any kind of error, they're very quick to give you ideas of what you can do to fix it. And they'll actually follow back up with you and ask, hey, did this work? Did it fix? So that is one of my absolute favorite things about Maui 2. It was one of my favorite things when it was Netrunner. I really respect the devs and the moderators for being that community centered. So again, this is Maui 2 distribution run through. It's a great distribution. You can use it as your main runner. You won't have any issues that I have seen. They fixed the one issue that was bothering me when I was using it previously. So yeah, great distribution. Maui 2. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful night.